So let me kind of transition a little bit to like a mini topic, and this is one I've talked to a little bit on the lives, but I don't know if I've really talked to you guys about it. And so, to samurai or not to samurai?
Oh boy,
that is the question.
That is the question. So since we're talking about quarter scales, I still love quarter scales. I know Eric has transitioned from quarter scales to third. I still have space for quarter scales. That's what this back row was meant for. That's why I did the shelving like I did to be able to put those on there. Where my struggle is I've got all of these Sideshow premium formats down here. I've got, thousands of dollars worth of product down here on the floor, and I just don't feel like they really work there. And so I keep thinking, okay, well, maybe I just need to put my Sideshow stuff back on the back shelf, and that's just going to be it. And then whenever I get in quarter scales, like I don't even know if that Killer Croc versus Batman would fit on that back there. And so, the idea of a Batman tactical throne, like something like that would look good back there. Some of these larger Prime 1 pieces, I think, would work really well back there. But I don't have room for all of it. I don't have room. And so my question has been like, okay, should it be the samurai line that goes? Should that be the line that goes? That's a lot of money sitting back there. Hello.
Who's that?
Sorry about that, guys.
That's all right. Take it if you need to, Dan. Don't worry about that.
Yeah, that's okay.
Okay. So anyway,
Chris, do you still get as much enjoyment out of them, or have you lost that love and feeling?
I've lost the loving feeling a little bit since it's been in here. In the old room, I had them up higher, and you could just see. I mean, they were more prevalent in the collection. Like you really noticed them. Mm-hmm. But in here, you don't.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the samurai or the Sideshow?
Well, right now the samurai, because they're the ones on that back shelf. Like I don't have as many of them. But I typically, I'm more usually into more of the comic book designs. So like the Sideshow ones, like I've got Penguin coming, and I've got Deathstroke coming, and I've got the other Poison Ivy coming. So I know that they're going to keep making them. I'm slowing down on the samurai as it is. Like the Killer Croc one we didn't love. I have ordered the Riddler, which is something I could maybe cancel. But I know at the end of the day, like, where do you guys think? Do you guys think I would be stupid to sell, or do you think it's probably maybe time to move on and use that space for the Sideshow pieces and maybe the bigger Prime 1 pieces?
Yeah,
I don't think it's ever stupid to sell. I've done a lot of selling this year.
How have you done with it?
You mean emotionally?
Let's do a little therapy session for Mr. Delaney tonight. How are you feeling, Jeff?
Lay on the couch.
How does that make you feel?
Yeah.
You know what? It's a double-edged sword, because I do miss some pieces. I had that one shelf that had Mr. Freeze and Scarecrow and Ivy, and I only have Ivy left of those three. So I do miss those two pieces, but it has enabled me to continue to get in new pieces, some of which I like better than those, without making the room too crowded.
Yep.
Which is important to me.
That's right. What about the rest of you guys? How do you feel about that? Or what do you think I should do?
I think the Samurai collection is some of the best statues ever made. The details are really impressive for quarter scale. But with that said, same as like you just said, Chris, I have more of a connection to the more traditional costumes, and as good as they are, I rather have the traditional costumes, even if they're not as good. So I would keep the Sideshow and sell the samurai. See, now the issue is, though, you sell the samurai, I mean, you have a lot of them, so are you gonna be okay if you get like stuck with one or two that you can't sell?
That's another thing I'm worried about. Like because obviously I would sell Batman, I would sell Ivy probably pretty quick. But then am I going to be stuck with some of the other ones that maybe, that are expensive that people don't want? I've got Bane, I've got Penguin, I've got Harley. So I don't know. I don't know.
It's also kind of not a great time to be selling.
Yeah.
Well, that's also true.
Yeah.
I know it's work, but maybe you should move the Sideshow pieces over there and just see how you feel with them like gone and the Sideshow's there now.
One issue I had, and the reason why I moved them down there in the first place, is because I did that. Like I had the sideshow pieces up there, and for the most part, they looked good. My issue was that I have the fan art Grundy, and
That's big.
he is massive in that. He barely fits. I mean, you can't even put like the swords, like the knives that are in his back. You can't even put that on him, unless I don't know, try to maneuver somewhere. But I don't know. I do love that line, and I think it's how many do you still have, Dan? I mean, you still have a bunch.
I think I have 5. And I have to tell you, I think I had 9. I sold for slightly different reasons, though. I started selling because I felt like the samurai was those versions of the characters, that it was a little bit too overrepresented in my collection.
Mhm.
It just started to feel that way in the room, and I didn't want that. I mean, obviously at the core, I like the traditional costumes, like Eric, best. But these other things are cool. The Gotham by Gaslight, that aesthetic is really cool. The steampunk thing, the samurai thing. There are these kind of, not Elseworld, but other aesthetics that are really fun and interesting. But I have to tell you, Chris, what I did is I went down to 5 that I knew I really loved, and I still really love them. I like having that little. I'm not getting I'm not getting any more samurai, but I like having the 5 that I have. I can tell you, I'm not motivated at all in my brain.
What are the 5?
I've got Batman, Deathstroke, Harley Quinn, Batgirl,
Ivy?
Bane?
and nope. Hold on, bear with me. Robin.
You don't have
Oh,
Bane anymore?
Yeah.
I don't have Bane. No, I sold Bane. Sold Ivy.
Oh, you did sell Ivy.
I did sell to Paula. Paula bought Ivy from me. What were the other ones? Joker,
Mm-hmm.
Nightwing. Yeah, those are the 4 that I sold. So I had 9, and I have 5 left.
I think my 5 would be Batman, Ivy, Joker, Bane, and Deathstroke. I think those are I think that would be my picks. But
It was hard to settle on which ones, because I love Bane. I love all the pieces I had. There's not one that I go, oh, crap. I wish I didn't have that. Probably the hardest one to sell was Ivy. That's a phenomenal piece.
yeah,
But I knew I had a couple more coming in, so different versions of her. So, but and Bane's tremendous piece. But
it is. Well, I think, the more I think about it, I just feel like for the space that I have, they probably do need to go. And so just if anybody is watching tonight, if you are interested in one of the samurai pieces that I have, please hit me up at thebatmanstatuecollector@gmail.com. Again, I have Penguin, Harley, Bane, Joker, Ivy, Deathstroke, Batman, and Scarecrow. So those are the ones that I have. If anybody is interested in any of those, hit me up and try to figure it out.
Or all in a giant Christmas package.
Oh yeah, somebody did. We talked about that the other day. Somebody was selling for, what was it?
18 grand.
Yeah, $18,000. So insane. So yeah, if anybody wants them all, I'm not going to charge you $18,000 for them. But yeah, it's crazy. That's crazy. Paula says, for goodness sake, you just finished your room. How are you full already? So I'm not full necessarily. I mean, I kind of am in a way, but I only have a certain number of space for the quarter scales. My passion by far is third scale. It's never been more evident in this room. And I think, Dan, you'll probably feel the same when you get your stuff up.
Yeah.
Because whenever you have more room, the quarter scales are amazing. However, they have much less of an impact than the larger stuff does.
Well, I have one difference though.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying that that's wrong.
And maybe it's just my setup. You
could be right. I know, but I don't think our setups will ultimately be all that different, right? But one area where where I'm a little more committed, actually probably a lot more committed than you, is the art. So I fully intend my art will be up on the walls behind the statues. And, so having ways that I can have minimize intrusion of statues being in front of the art is a good thing for me.
Right.
Which,
Absolutely.
So it kind of, that for me is 100%. That's not even, that's not even in question for me.
Yeah. And that's something I'm still trying to figure out, is the art situation and how it's going to go up. It would, again, we joke all the time about you flying in, or CC flying in, or somebody coming in. Like, I'm not kidding. I'm like, I need the help. I just don't know. I have no idea. I mean, I feel like I probably could make it happen, but obviously I don't have anything up on the walls yet other than the interior as you come in, because I still just don't know. I just don't want to make a bunch of mistakes.
It's overwhelming.
It is overwhelming.
This size. This is harder in a lot of ways than my last space.
Yeah, it's just, it's surprising, because you would think it would just all come together really simply, but it's. No. I am really happy with the way I place statues. I feel like the statue placement is good overall, especially on this side. But I just don't know. I just don't know how I'm going to do the art, and I keep having art coming in, which is we were talking before the show. I've got a video coming up this week also, or next week, talking about kind of a dream project that I'm working on, and so that's a whole nother thing. Is like, where do all those go? So yeah, collector problems, right? Yeah, collector problems, which goes back to the original ones right here, right? The struggles of a statue collector. See, really, we're coming full circle. We're tying it all together. I don't know. So again, we have a couple people that vote maybe sell. Dan, did you ever say sell, not sell? What do you think?
I think you should probably. I'm not sure you should sell all of them. I have a feeling that the ones that will sell the fastest are the ones you will most.
Right.
I don't want to say regret, because you probably won't regret, but you'll feel badly about. I did think that same thing. I was like, well, maybe if I just kept 3, or it's like, I'd keep Batman, Ivy, and Deathstroke, or something like that. It's like keep a couple of them, but then I still have that issue, like where, how do I separate them out and they still take up a whole block? I only have 4 blocks basically worth of space. Yeah. Back here. Yeah. If it's a major display challenge, then I would sell them, because that's not going to change.
Right.
Will always bug you.
Right. So. And again, my focus really going forward, obviously, is third scales. And somebody mentioned, let's see, where did they say that?
With Prime One doing these quarter scale, versus pieces, I feel like that's a cool area to start collecting. Like, I think if I ever get back into like doing quarter, it's going to be like those versus style pieces.
Hey guys, thank you so very much for watching today, and if you're new here, please hit the subscribe button right here on the screen and check out these 2 awesome videos. I think you're going to love them. And also please join us on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and TikTok. I would love to have you join in all the fun. Thank you guys so very much for watching. See you in the Batcave.